gradient tool in Photoshop can create all kinds of abstract designs. So just go over to the rectangular marquee tool, or the other one as well, elliptical, perfectly reasonable, and create a quick selection. I'm just going to create a layer as well, so layer and new layer. Click OK. Now I'm going to fill that design. So I'm just going to quickly fill that with the current gradient there, but you could use any of the gradients, any of the other gradients as well. You can load in, import gradients, etc. And just simply add it. Now, of course, you could also use different blending modes. So if you want, you could create a far more complex gradient design, something like that. Just create difference and apply it with linear or radial, etc. Select and deselect. So you've got your design there. Now, another thing you can do, if you want, is to go to a layer and smart objects, convert to smart object. Means that the original design you're not modifying, you're just modifying on top of the smart object. Does mean you can only have one warp, unfortunately. However, what you can do, it's really still nice to work with. So edit, transform and warp. But that's also quite effective as well because you can remove the warp. And that's quite a key thing. So if you want to create multiple layers, you can remove any warps you add. So you can distort the design. Simply click on the document there or on that layer and just warp it. Go around the edge. Now if Photoshop doesn't let you do it, it will tell you. It just beep and say, nope, not going to let you edit that. But you can edit it, you can drag over, you can just create all kinds of different folds. So create a very nice sort of three-dimensional effect. Very quick and easy. You can still continue to distort the design there. You don't have to push it all over so it folds in on itself. You can drag that out. Create all kinds of weird and wonderful designs like that. Very quick and easy. Well, what you can also do is you can go to Layer and Duplicate Layer. So you've got two now. And they're both smart objects over here in the Layers panel. And you can just move that design. What you can also do, you've got here blending modes for the layer. So you can say different to create some interesting colour combinations. But I'm just going to go with normal. Because what I'm going to do, I'm just going to resize that. Modify that and then rotate it a bit. And I could use that. Perfectly reasonable as well. But if I want to, I can always go to Edit and down to Transform and Warp. And you will see an option there. You can reset it. So it resets the warp. Puts it back to that just square design. Rectangular design. And then you can continue to warp. And of course you can then create all kinds of different warped designs based around that original object. So you can just go there and say, I think just have it nicely running along there, maybe stretching out further, and you can continue. See, that's why it happens, just beeps. Doesn't like you doing something, it will beep, it will let you know. And you can extend that out and create all kinds of different designs. I'm just going to out beeps again. So you can just fold it in over there. And you've got that design. And you can obviously just move that a bit closer there. Press return. Now I've got two. What I can do, I can go for 3, 400. So I'm just going to go to, just do a couple of course, just going to go to duplicate layer again. And you can see again, you've got these designs. And then you can simply resize that design, move it around, rotate it, etc. But you can also simply go to Edit and again Transform and Warp and reset it back to the original rectangle and continue to modify the design. So you can just drag it out in different ways, again click somewhere. However, what you can also do, you can add in additional. So you can right click. So if you right click anywhere in this, right click and you've got options here, split warp, horizontally, split warp crosswise. I like that one. So just going to, and it just gives you this crosswire. And then you can continue to add, just gives you a bit more sort of detail to work with. Crosswise, or it's crosswire, but crosswise. And you can see as you do that, you get this lovely grid pops up. And you can just move it and warp it and combine it again with the other design. Again, it will let you know if it doesn't like a change. And you can distort that in all kinds of different ways. And again, fold it over, fold this over as well, and combine it in different ways. So you've got your design there. Once you've done that, what you can do, you can select all three, So you've got all three selected there. You can always go to a layer and down to smart objects. So you can convert a smart object from smart objects. So you've got them all combined there. And you can move it around. You can duplicate it as well. But you can also go and add, edit and transform and warp. So you can warp this design as well. Just quickly warp it and shape it in all kinds of different ways. So I'm just going to drag that around. And again, do exactly the same before. Right click, split warp, and you can just add another warp there. Again, split warp crosswise, and you can drag that over as well. Click OK. And of course you can, again, exactly the same as before, go to layer and duplicate layer and OK. And you can just create multiple shapes and build up a very complex design of this warped sort of three-dimensional like shapes, and literally thousands of combinations can be created from one basic gradient. And of course, once you've got this, you can always flatten the image. Go to flatten image and you've got your design there. But you can also use selections again, go to elliptical marquee tool, and maybe you think, oh, that's a nice area of colour. You can copy, paste it, and just create another shape and do exactly the same. So layer, smart object, convert to smart object, edit and transform and warp. And just distort that design as well. And create even more unusual warped designs. Very surreal artwork like that. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Always add new tutorials all the time. A dislike or like, always appreciated. Thank you much.